I would say social media, in a sense, is my career.
Personal blog.
Archive.
And I feel like it's so much better to be genuine than to be someone who's just fake.
Media outlets, even if it's like a journal, everything is still kind of biased towards a narrative. There's a certain conclusion you want to reach.
Right.
So in this world, what is the truth?
Welcome to YonStation, the podcast video series featuring Yonsei University students talking about real topics. In this episode, we'll be getting real about social media with some of our very own Yonsei University influencers and social media enthusiasts. So, come and join us in talking about how we use, manage, and think about social media.
My name is Yonsei.
I'm Yuki.
Hi guys, I'm Chloe.
My name is Shada.
For me, I think I would say social media, in a sense, is my career. Because I'm also doing freelance modeling and freelance content creation, whether it's like on my page or UGC. So in a sense, it's getting me a lot of job opportunities.
Instagram or like social media for me is just personal blog. Yeah, for me it's more about communicating with my friends. Yeah, I use Instagram for messaging, DMs often. Yeah, and the photos I post are usually like about my life.
My main form of SNS is TikTok, and I kind of feel like it's a mix of both of yours. I use it as like a personal blog and also as like UGC and model and whatever for people to find me and do stuff like that.
I think for me, my answer relates more to you because for me, social media was an archive, kind of like of memories I wanted to, and obviously like show my friends and family. For TikTok, the way I started with it wasn't just for like content creation or just for people to see. It was it was a hobby because I started in 2020, which was like COVID. I didn't have really any hobbies or things to do, so TikTok was a way just to keep me entertained, and then actually making videos was just like a record of basically my life in Korea that I could look back on. And now I can see it as like not a full-time career, but it's definitely something that may be a tool or stepping stone to certain opportunities I would like to have.
I feel like you three all use TikTok today. TikTok? Do you use TikTok?
I use TikTok to watch stuff and keep up with the trends, because from what I've noticed, whatever's trending on TikTok trends on Instagram after like a few weeks or a month. So that's why I use TikTok.
I mean, TikTok, it's so much easier to gain followers than Instagram because you get more exposure through the For You page and stuff. So once your TikTok starts to like grow, then they'll start gradually moving to your Instagram as well.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of creators tend to do if they want to grow their Instagram.
So since like we've been talking about Instagram and Snapchat, actually, this just came to my mind, but there's like a rise in like more social media apps, like the newer ones, because like I've seen Be Real trending, and even TikTok is relatively new. So like, what do you guys think? Is there, like, when you look back at your Instagram and Snapchat accounts from the past, do you feel like a difference in terms of posting, or do you feel a difference between all the apps? Because at the end of the day, we're all just sharing our pictures and where we are. So how do you guys feel about that?
I think coming in from like the US perspective and US apps, so like the first big one was Instagram. And then after Instagram, I feel like it was Vine, which was like really, really big.
Musical.ly,
7 clips, right?
yeah,
And then
Musical.ly
Musical.ly came with that. And then TikTok came in and that killed Musical.ly. So I think what happened is like every time there's a new app that comes out, like Vine, I think Vine was killed by Musical.ly, and then Musical.ly was killed by TikTok. But I'm pretty sure Musical.ly and TikTok Vine, they combined together because people who had old Musical.ly accounts were able to
switch to TikTok. Yeah.
But then like if you think about all of those like OG creators, like the content they used to make used to be very, very skitted, like very skit based. And then as like the apps have
Evolved.
evolved, yeah, that's the word. as they've evolved, the creation and content that's changed it's been like a drastic change. Like from 2018-19 until now, even on TikTok, it went from very funny based transitions and all of that stuff to now like political and a lot of all of those things that's happening, like a news-based site that people are using.
I think that currently, because of woke culture, you have to be really careful about what you say and what you post. So there's definitely a big difference. And also, like, I agree with what you said, because I don't know, sometimes I find out important news pieces, whether it's politically related or even related to, I don't know, like diplomacy, negotiation, etc. I find out from Instagram, even related to climate change for that matter, Instagram or TikTok, more than news media outlets and the coverage they're giving.
I thought about that as well, but like it's good that through Instagram and social media you could get diverse perspectives, but I think it's also dangerous because it's so easy to create this narrative and it's actually like tunnel vision. And like Instagram and like TikTok, it really changes for people's preference. And it's called like algorithm. I don't know the math behind it, but like I always thought it was really dangerous.
But yeah, that's the thing. You can never know what to trust unless you do your full research. And the thing is, even if we do our full research, media outlets, even if it's like a journal, everything is still kind of biased towards a narrative. There's a certain conclusion you want to reach. So in this world, what is the truth?
I'm a bit worried about younger generations and having access to all of this social media because they've become so desensitized, and I've seen so many younger kids who are actually like they don't realize they're actual people behind the screen, and they'll say so much like rude things and don't realize that it's like actually affecting people. And I think online cyberbullying has become a big issue because of social media, but there's pros and cons to everything, as we've been talking about.
My only recommendation would be not to...
Don't look at the comments.
Don't don't look at the comments, but we're human beings, so we always look at the comments.
It's the most interesting.
My recommendation would be not to just, keep your mind open to every possibility out there, and then form your opinions rather than sticking to a narrative or a bias based on your algorithm.
And like how we all were talking about like news, I see some people who only get their news from like social media or TikTok, which in my mind, like you said, we all get a diverse opinion and like sure can add into your own thoughts and opinions, but it's also like you said, like, very skewed, very manipulated. We don't know whether this person's like, they may be getting like false information, or they are also influenced by other people. Like I see people stitching other people's TikToks on certain news events and giving their opinion or their thoughts on it, and other people in the comments are like, "You're totally right," or "I never thought of it that way. I wouldn't have known about this if it weren't for you," which is really concerning. And like we all said, media is manipulated, but it's even more manipulated if you're finding it from only a single source of someone who may not have like the right background, I guess. Or you could just be some random person. Not saying it's not invalid but it's very rough when people are just like, "Oh, I saw this on TikTok though," but I was like,
but it's on TikTok,
Exactly. TikTok and Instagram, I don't think it has the purpose to be a news outlet but it's becoming like that.
Have you guys noticed, like on social media, how when people will post a video and it goes viral, that other brands will kind of come in and they'll talk to the creator or post in the comments as if they're one person rather than a whole corporation and stuff, right? So how do you guys feel about brands becoming people or being able to talk like one-on-one with brands like that?
I find it very funny because I see, and funny in the sense that I've seen Duolingo's tweets, like they just show up on my TikTok, like people screenshotting them and showing Duolingo's responses. But at the same time, I think that it is a good marketing tactic for brands to approach people and get like influencers to work for them, because at the end of the day, I know this might be like a controversial opinion, but we influencers and content creators, we are part of marketing. We're basically like sales people, or we're people who market something for pay, sometimes for free, because we genuinely like it. But it is kind of funny, but at the same time it works, because nowadays there's like two kinds of content being pushed. Either it's like political and like really serious, that's about being woke, or even informative for that matter. Doesn't matter what topic it has to be, it's just informative. And then there's the second kind that's like funny, but related to like influencing or marketing culture. So I think in the funny sense, like the brands commenting under people's like Instagrams, I find it really funny. But at the same time, I think it's mainly just for marketing. It's not because they actually want to get a bit more closer.
Right.
They do want to establish a sense of closeness, but that doesn't mean it has to be deeper. It can be a superficial level of friendliness and closeness, so that the audience opens themselves up more to the brand.
Yeah.
I feel like what you're saying is 100% true, and over like the recent years, you've seen corporations come under a lot of backlash for things, and it's always just like a wall or like a table of like people who are unapproachable in that kind of sense. So being able to push that aside and thinking, oh, well, here's this fun Starbucks people who come in, they like my latte, they're making these jokes, and you know, they seem very Gen Z, if you will. So it makes them more approachable, and it changes their entire image. Even so, like, they're able to move past that.
They want more exposure, but they're doing it in, like you said, a more approachable way for audiences. Especially like everyone would be like, like Starbucks commented, and obviously the person who posted it will also be like, oh, I love your drinks too, because they may be also looking for a collaboration of some sort.
This shows that it's quite a superficial image that they're trying to make. Yeah.
Very superficial, I would say, because when, like, most times when a big brand will comment on one of your posts, you go to the DMs, you send a DM, and like, oh, hey, I saw you commented on this. Would you like to proceed with a collaboration or a brand deal or something? And that's how a lot of the ways they get started. And it's being marketed is to fix your insecurities. So it's not necessarily self-love. It's fixing your insecurities.
Or it's creating more. Or it's creating more.
That's another dangerous thing about social media. I realized that there's so many edits and stuff that's posted on pictures that you start to compare yourself to them.
True.
And so, like, especially for young kids, and even for myself as a 22-year-old, I'll look at pictures and be like, wow, what?
I agree.
So what do you guys think? Since we have all apps, and we talked about how certain apps like Musical.ly and Vine were overtaken by TikTok, if there would be any other apps coming in the future, either already made, or do you think there will be more apps that will overtake the ones that are trending right now, like Instagram or TikTok and whatever?
So personally for me, I don't think that any of the current existing apps will be overthrown, mainly because, like, if you see WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, they're all under the same company. And then TikTok has acquired like other Vine and Musical.ly. The only way I think you'd definitely see new social media rising, because we saw Be Real come up, and before that we saw TikTok come up. We will see new social media maybe in time, but you basically won't see of any of the existing ones really going away unless they're acquired by another company or a group. There's something that's already there in the market, established. I don't think it's gonna be that revolutionary if there's something new coming up.
I agree with you, because Instagram and like Twitter and Facebook, they already have such a big platform. They have like a long list of users. You can't just like overthrow that. It's already like a kingdom. You can't easily overthrow such a big platform like that. And I think it's more about the contents, how people will use social media. I think that will gradually change, but the app itself, I don't think it would change. And like, I see that, I think we talked about this before, but it used to be like funny content, like skits, but now it's more about incorporating your lifestyle, like fashion and food So I think it will keep on going towards that direction, or or I think it's going more towards marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think there will be like new apps that'll come out with an entirely new perspective and idea of social media, because as was mentioned earlier, posting your videos and photos, that's basically what you're doing. You're sharing your life with people. But I definitely think there is going to be an upgrade in these apps. So if you think about Google and the Google glasses that like they're talking about putting forth, like you wear them and you can see everyone around you. Like if you're friends with them, it gives you their information and stuff like that. So I feel like in that sense, there's going to be a new virtual reality. I think with being social media, especially like my platform, I try to have such a close relationships especially when I go live. When I go live, like I have people who've been like with me for the last 5 or 6 years since I've been doing social media, and it's like you get to like create actual relationships with people even if you've never met them before, and like that's one of my favorite things, because I created posts for like how to move to Korea as a high school student or a college student, how to get scholarships and help people come abroad, and I've like met people who've come here and it's like thank you so much for helping me for doing this and stuff. And I feel like it's so much better to be genuine than to be someone who is just fake.
And I think this is the genuine connection that people should strive for.
Yes.
I think that's why, like, for me, that's why I use social media. If you like videos like these, make sure to
Like,
comment,
And subscribe.
Bye.
Bye bye.